Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to an ARK news video. Guys, make sure you like this video if you find useful information. And let's crack on with so much stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of talking about the countdown for ARK's brand new DLC. Is it a VR game? Is it DLC? I'm starting to think it's maybe possibly the reveal of the DLC. We know it's coming. DLC has been promised, spoken about by the devs for a while now. Small tiny little pieces haven't given us any real dates, but today we're going to do a whole lot of talking about some new information that's got revealed from the website and some other bits and bobs and codes. Also, the mods winners have been announced. Thank you guys for voting, it really is appreciated. Hopefully this shows wildcard. People really would love to see these mods become official. I'm going to take you through the winners of the maps and the actual featured mods. Side note as well, if you're still looking to join my ARK servers on Xbox and PlayStation, join the Discord. We've got them running on PC, Xbox and PlayStation on the Valguero map. Come and join Discord, that's the only way you can play and we'll get you into the servers. So the countdown says 10 days, 9 hours and 50 seconds left. Oh my gosh. Where does the new info come from today? Jesse has put up another screenshot and it's changing slightly, I do believe, the code. So here's the brand new code and this is what the code says. In a second I'm going to tell you guys. I know anticipation. If you've not seen this, of course, it is another teaser that they basically put out. They love these codes and stuff. I was saying it must be VR because you can do it in VR mode here. But maybe it's not, maybe it's just some clever way, he just wanted to have a bit of fun with it. For sure though, it does seem more and more likely it is going to be the DLC reveal. So it has changed slightly as well. It looks like the portal has opened up a little bit more. And we now have this proper beam of light going up. So expect this to get even more involved over the next few days. These are starting to look more and more like obelisks. So where are we going? Where is this beam of light taking us? Now one of the biggest ratbag supporters going, runs with pencils, has been doing all the brain work for me. And she has decoded the brand new code. And that's what it says. Initiate AP uplink. So what does AP mean? AP stands for Arat Prime. This is a good little thread explaining it and we'll take a little look at some of the wiki entries too. Arat Prime, a mysterious place talked about in the forums in game and what it really is and what is there. Now I'm not going to go through the speculation parts, we're going to get just to the stuff that's actually been posted correctly. And this is everything that's related to Arat Prime. A7 priority communication received, Arat Prime is locked down. Arat Prime is locked down, emergency launch initiating, proceed to nearest shelter. Arat Prime has gone silent, launch was not confirmed. So that's the lines that have been mentioned in the past. And here is a little note passage from Dinah's Extinction Note 29. We finished marking the last of the graves a few hours ago. It was hard to say goodbye, but having recently died myself, I know that sitting here and crying my eyes out for weeks straight won't help. Hopefully they find peace with that void or something better beyond it. Now it's just me, mailing and the long road ahead. Well, and the faceless presence that's guiding us down the road, of course. I've always started to feel the tugs pulling me towards Arat Prime. Not sure what's waiting for us there, but with May by my side and a dangerous mission in front of us, I'm going to relax and enjoy the ride. I can admit that I'm certifiable for saying so, but this kind of life, it's just my speed. Dinah Extinction Note number 19, these titans remind me of combat drones. This control centre has tracked their general migration patterns and to my eye they're almost like troop movements. When they decide to swarm something they come from all over, like something's commanding them. Not to mention they spread element everywhere they go. So basically before the reseed protocol can be triggered, the titans need to be eliminated. Normally I'd all be gung-ho about a mission impossible, but the number of times we'd have to take down is nuts. May and I might be a killer power couple if I say so myself, but even we die of old age before we even made a dent in their population. There must be something we can do though. I did find a lot of references to a place called Arat Prime, off on the other side of the planet. Looks promising, but well now isn't that interesting. A favourite mystery seems to think so too. Is that where it's leading us? That says to me that obviously a lot of people agree. Spoilers right now for the Extinction ending, you hear Rockwell laughing in the distance. Could it be the corruption has landed? Could it be the Earth hasn't cleared completely everything there was with the Titans? And we're going to be going to Arat Prime to actually play the next DLC and find the origins of ARK. So this guy here as well, big shout out to him. I like people that do this stuff. ARK Theorist 123 has posted this. He's basically pieced a story together of ARK and this is what he thinks. Sometimes in a not so distant future, a large space rock hit the Earth. From this rock, the remaining humans extracted the first sample of element. From this, scientists, possibly including one by the name of L. Livingston, more about him on his own forum, created the first tech. Given tech's many wondrous properties, humanity advanced rapidly, and by the year 2134 had built the city, resurrected prehistoric creatures, and even bred humans completely from scratch. Also, their taste in architecture became quite eerie, as noted by both Helena and anyone who's visited the Overseer Arena. But tech and the many weapons that could be made from it also gave the world armies an excuse to fight non-stop wars, and these wars apparently lasted for centuries. Their tech weapons were emitting some used element back into the ground. Humans just took this for granted, but over the years the unused element actually became self-aware and changed its molecular structure entirely so it was an organism, more specifically the corruption nodes, which the element used to corrupt creatures and turn them on their human masters. So that's Extinction pretty much. Realising their mistake, the humans hurriedly built the ARKs, which were intended as observation faculties where an advanced AI, the Overseers, could create artificial humans with possibly fake memories, with the goal of finding the right genetic combination to create humans that would ascend, kill the Titans and start the Reseed protocol, thereby saving the planet. The ARKs were launched, the remaining humans on Earth were eaten, and the element created the Titans to guard its new home. Where does Arat Prime come into play? Well, it seems that during the ARK construction, two faculties were founded. The first, which was explored twice by the explorers as if it's actually located on the Extinction map, it wasn't, contained the ARK's data servers and a console used to start the Reseed protocol. The second faculty, as you've probably guessed, was Arat Prime. It is believed to fans to have been the command post where the ARK's launch was controlled from. According to Diana on Extinction, Arat Prime is the opposite end of the planet from the Extinction map. Also, fun fact, the name Arat Prime seems to be a reference to the biblical mountain Arat, the mountain where Noah's Ark rested after its journey. When I think about it, there are a lot of similarities between these two stories. Both feature vessels called ARKs that contained animals and humans that were needed for Earth's survival. Lots of people have been hypothesising as well about gene splicing, about the ability maybe to create different types of creatures. That would be pretty cool. That would be something I think that would really make a DLC like this absolutely amazing. But I don't want it just to be another map filled with corrupted creatures that you can't really go and explore. Sure, chuck a few in, maybe have some boss creatures particularly, but not just loads and loads. So I'm not really going to go with that one either. I don't think the art devs would do that. But for sure, everything else kind of tallies up. All the actual wording that is directly lifted from the game says there is another place called Arat Prime, and it is the other side of Extinction, and we've heard the Rockworld laugh at the end of Extinction, so it all ties in together. We'll be exploring the other side of the Earth, possibly dealing with Rockwell's mutations, more Reapers but maybe corrupted bigger versions as bosses. Maybe he's trying to create even more Titans. And maybe we'll find some creatures to help us with our journey, or maybe we're going to have to create creatures ourselves. Now that last bit is just me throwing it in there, but that would be amazing. Imagine being able to get two dinos like an Anki and a T-Rex, and you're able to gene splice them by putting them into a tech chamber. And then you'd get an egg that was basically a armoured T-Rex. That's what I'm talking about. Comment Anki Rex if you want what I want. So, that's what's going on at the moment. Uplink initiated is what the website, what the coding says. Whatever happens, we're going to be talking or communicating to someone somewhere at Arat Prime. Another thing to remember is that at the end of Aberration, you wake up on Earth. That's the cutscene for that. And so you'll see all the Extinction stuff going on, and you realise that the obelisks have a protective shell to make you believe what's not really there beyond the borders of it. But it reveals that once it's broken down, a really harsh environment filled with lava and all sorts of fire. We never saw that landscape on Extinction. We never actually came across anything similar to that or like that. We saw plenty of ruins, but not the lava and not the smoke billowing forth and just a really decayed, horrible place. So maybe this is what Arat is going to be. That's where we're going to be exploring finally. I also think it is definitely going to be called ARK Genesis, as Genesis is the beginning or the start of something, and that's really where we're trying to investigate and go back to the beginning of where ARK began. Let me know in the comment section what you think it all is. What does it really mean? Could it be wrong? Could it be another ARK somewhere in the sky? We saw them all fall to Earth. It does sound about right that the element would leak from some of these arcs and maybe make more titans rise up, or at least more corrupted creatures, but hopefully they'll be slightly different from the ones we faced before. As ever, I am going to be there, always first, always giving you the information quickly, as efficiently as possible, with as little clickbait as possibly can, unless I'm taking the piss out of Loaded Crisis. So, on to the modding contest. You guys have been smashing it with the votes, I do believe. And I think we actually made a difference. I've got nothing against creature mods, they're great, they're fantastic. But last time we had a modding competition and it was a public vote. Everyone went and voted for one of the creature mods purely because one of the biggest tubers was playing it at the time. A lot of them players had never even bothered looking at some of the other mods. It was all just a hype train. And that's fine, that's the way popularity goes, I guess. Whatever's hot, whatever's in the now. But I'm pleased to say that it looks like the mods have actually had more of a fairer chance this time. Maybe because the ARK creators aren't necessarily focusing on just one big creature mod. And these are the 3 winners of this section. 3rd place NPC Humans, 2nd place the Steampunk mod, and 1st place Castles, Keeps and Forts. The person who won the Collector's Edition as part of this section, AKNYX, has won the Collector's Edition of ARK. And that's what's happening, guys. Castle, Keeps and Fort has won the modding competition, $10,000. Icebez, Steampunk creator, has won $5,000. And the guy that made human NPCs, I just assume genders, oh my gosh, they've won $3,000? $2,000? $2,500. I can't wait to show you some more of this, guys. I'm going to get on this now. It's not a guarantee that any of these will ever be made into an official mod. It's very different from just converting a map over. And I do believe that some of these will just be a little bit too difficult, particularly human NPCs. And for sure, none of these I don't think will ever make it to an official server. But I would love it if we could just play single player on consoles, or if this was implemented on unofficial servers. Of course, there are still other great mods out there, and you never know, Wildcard might decide that some of these would make more sense to make into a proper mod for the game. But I like the idea that we've helped choose what we want to see more. It's also pleasing to note that 2 of the longest mods going around have actually entered and won the top 3. I do believe Castle, Keeps and Forts had a little break, but they're back on it now, adding more content to it. So well done, fantastic result getting that. And if we take a look at the actual maps, now this one I guess is probably, I'm going to assume, easier, since Valguero, Ragnarok and the centre map all won modding competitions. And all 3 of their maps did come to ARK unofficially as brand new maps. Valguero still got its problems and issues for sure, but it's great stuff that we are going to see, hopefully possibly one of these come. The winner of this Collector's Edition was Nockencator, and the finalists were Olympus, Faith and the Chasm. So I do believe Olympus has won, Faith is 2nd place and the Chasm is 3rd. There were some really good maps here, some of them though just needed a little bit more work. I think if they're fleshed out a little bit more next year, they'll definitely have more chance of being there, and especially if they get content creators to actually come and play their maps and show it to the world. I was a bit disappointed Exogenesis didn't make it to the top 3. I'm not a big fan of Extinction, but I did like what he was doing with this. It was definitely a really different looking map. But I'm really pleased the ones I voted for Castle, Keeps and Forts and Faith. They've both actually either won or been in top 3. Faith is a reimagining of the island. So there's some things you're going to recognise, some things you won't, but it'll have that same sort of feel. Olympus has been around for a bit now. It's got some really cool sort of ruins. Personally, I still think it's a little bit too cookie cutter compared to some of the other maps, but for sure there's definitely some unique stuff that it's got going on. And the Chasm, I don't understand it, but lots of you guys always commenting on my ranked maps video saying that you love the Aberration map. Me personally, I didn't like it. I didn't like being underground all the time. But it seems lots of you guys love the cave life, as the Chasm is pretty much a redo of Aberration, just loads of structures and places. So well done to them too. They're also part of the team that actually helped on Valguero. He did the Aberration zone on Valguero. So phew, there we go guys. The community crunch will be up and running tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to go down more details about the mod contest winners. Possibly look into a little bit more about this, and I'll keep you guys up to date whenever we get any new information about what's happening with this countdown. Everything Art Survival Evolved. make sure you got my channel locked down. If you're renting your own Ark Survival Evolved server, make sure you use the links in my video description, and I'll see you rat bags for another video very soon.